Hi guys. Well, it's been obviously a little while since I did any kind of video updates. The Lodestar, while not complete obviously, is drivable and complete. I have driven it I think maybe one more time since I got back from the show, but obviously it's getting colder and colder out every day. We got our first snow today, actually, here in southeast central Michigan. Just some flurries, but it was definitely the first flakes of the year. So, at any rate, I have started it a few times, and it looks beautiful in the barn. It's pretty cool to walk out there every day and have that thing just sitting there, and very much can appreciate all the work that went into it. So, and some of you guys followed along, so that was a cool process. So I'll show you some more of that thing as I work on it this winter here and do a little bit more. But this video is going to be just a short little update to let you know that you are going to be seeing a new project that I'm going to, whatever you want to call it, log for you. Similar but different. And at the end of the video, I think I only took 3 or 4 pictures of it, but at the end of the video here, I'll toss up some still images to show you what it is. I've been mulling over in my head, you know, what's my next project gonna be? Like I need another project, like I need another hole in my head. Of course, my wife will point that out to you too. But I am who I am, so I wanted another project. I obviously knew it was going to be a truck of some sort. I know that I've got my old 3500 HD Cummins swap truck that's getting pretty rough, pretty long in the tooth. It literally is falling apart. I ripped the exhaust off of it because there was nothing left of it. So it's basically an open turbo now. Frame cross members are literally rusted apart in pieces. It is junk, but it's still in one piece. It goes down the road. I just put a carrier bearing in it. So I do want, sometime in the next 2, 3, 4 years, I want to, take a trailer down south and find a good, clean, same wheelbase 3500 HD that preferably had a 6.5 turbo diesel and a 5-speed in it, because I'll probably convert to that 5-speed versus the big Fuller, and gauges and all that kind of stuff will work out a lot better. I'll have a clutch in it already, all that good stuff. So anyway, but it just isn't what I'm feeling right now. I'm just not ready for that project yet. That truck's still barely running and driving, so I just kind of want to keep using it as an old hay truck for the time being. So I knew I wanted a heavy truck, heavy-ish. In a perfect world, yeah, I'd probably buy a mid-90s Pete 379 or 378. 378's for my favorite. A little shorter slope to it, but buy a 378 day cab and it'd be awesome. I don't have the freaking money for that. I don't have the space for that just yet, so my mind is going, I'd like something that is maybe not drivable, but close to drivable. Something a little newer, but still cool, has some potential, and kind of bridging the gap. Not a big truck, but not a baby with a 5.9 Cummins or a DT 466 or something with a little more motor in it. Big truck feel. Well, then I was perusing Facebook Marketplace a few days ago. Bad idea. I don't even have Facebook, but I just perused Facebook Marketplace. And so, I think it was Saturday night. I look up, and I was probably a drink or 2 in at that point, but I said to my wife, I said, Sarah, I need you to message this guy about these trucks he's got for sale. You can imagine the look I got. It was kind of half eye roll, half glare from across the room. But it was a great wife because she did it. And eventually went back and forth with the guy after the course of a couple days, got his number. And I had time today after work to run over. What he's got is his uncle just passed away, and his aunt and uncle had this I kind of had a business. My phone's about to fall down here. Had a business, had accrued a whole bunch of trucks and equipment. And to be honest with you, pretty cool guy. He a little younger than me, but he's into this stuff a little bit and kind of grew up around these trucks and stuff. And we actually spent about an hour just wandering around, riding around a tractor and checking out. I had to check out everything. There was actually an old Lodestar there. Wasn't even something he had listed in the ad, but it was there. Old tandem axle dump truck, which was pretty cool. But all kinds of stuff. Had a cool old John Deere loader that I really want to buy, but I just can't bring myself to. I really want to buy it. Old 644 John Deere. I used to run one for snow years and years and years ago. So anyway, that's not the point. The point is, he had a mid-80s International S-Series with a DT360 in it, another S-Series with a gas motor, a couple Ford, what were they, the C-Series, I think, the low Ford cab overs from the 60s through the 80s. Had one that was a late run, it was like an 82 single axle tractor. Had one of those that was a fire truck, an older L9000 tractor with an 855 Cummins in it. It was a cool truck, but cab is gone. Too much rust. It's been sitting down in the weeds for too long, I think. Nice triple axle step deck hooked up behind it. Frame has holes through it. Junk. It's basically scrap. A couple C60s, a top kick with a 3208 in it, an old International KB. I could go on. There's all kinds of crap back there. But the truck that had caught my attention in the ad is the truck that I just put a deposit on. I haven't told my wife this yet. It's going to be a great dinner conversation. But what it is a 1987 Ford L8000. So it was the first year for the bar type grill versus the egg crate grill. I think they changed the turn signals, went to square, headlights went square at that point, I believe, too. So it's kind of the latest run of the Louisville, you know, that classic Louisville cab that sat nice and high, had that classic Louisville dash, almost like a cab over dash, had your straight section in front of you and then the angle off to your right. And I told myself, I'm fairly familiar with these trucks, so there's a single axle. I knew it is either going to have the Ford Brazilian 7.8 turbo diesel, which is okay, but not the most desirable, or it was going to have an A3 Cummins. And I said, well, I'm only interested in it if it's got, the guy didn't know what it was until I went and looked at it, so didn't know him that well. I said, well, if it's not an A3, I'm probably not interested. And if it's an Allison, I'm definitely not interested. So I want an A3. You know, they could have had anything from a 6-speed to maybe an 8-low or a 9-speed or a 10-speed. I actually don't still know what it is. It's either a 9 or a 10 though. But it does. It's got an 8.3 Cummins. It's got a, like say, a 9 or a 10-speed Fuller in it. So it's the driveline I wanted, unfortunately. It has, I don't remember exact, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 76,000 original miles on it. It's got a little rust here and there. Bottoms of the doors are getting a little sketchy. Might end up putting doors on it. Tiny bit of rocker rust. Floors actually look good. A little bit of rust in the bracketry for the fiberglass hood where the tilt mechanism is, so I might have to get one of those or fab up some new parts up. But frame has got paint on it still. It's been driven up until about 2 or 3 years ago, not necessarily road driven daily, but moved under its own power regularly up until 2 or 3 years ago. She's down in the dirt a little bit, but nothing too bad. Got one tire off the bead on the rear, so I got to go in with I'm just gonna go in with a mounted tire and wheel just so it's easy to bolt on. But he's got air right there, so I don't have time for a couple weeks here. I'm out of town between wedding trips to Florida for family and gun season up in the UP. I am gone for a couple weekends, so sometime just before or just after Thanksgiving, he took a deposit from me. He agreed I could come in and bring some batteries and some fuel. There was filters already in the truck. I don't know that I'm going to trust those, because I don't know how old they are, but I'm going to hopefully come in with at least fuel filters. I'm not going to change the friggin' oil. I'm not that picky. But I'll probably maybe change fuel filters and see what the fuel looks like. Decide if I'm going to try to run it off the tanks or not. Bring some fresh fuel. But you know, and he's got some equipment there that between that and my truck, I think we can pull it out, and I'm going to try to drive this thing home. Worst case, get it at least hopefully running to the point where I can crawl it onto a trailer. The other cool part about it, my original intention was, you know what, I'll put maybe just open frame, maybe a small flatbed deck, and put a goose ball in the back so I can pull a trailer with it. Have it be kind of a fun little, you know, hop up more a little bit, turn up that P pump on that A3, and you know, maybe get 350 horse out of it and just have some fun with it. But it has the coolest bed. It was a house moving company that had this thing, and it has a homemade, basically wrecker body on the back with an incredibly beefy boom. This boom sticks out about, I don't know, easily 8 feet behind the back of the bed. It's a single axle, and it has, I don't know, I would guess it's no less than a 10-ton, maybe a 20 or 30-ton PTO-driven winch on it, and that is just cool. So I don't know if I can bring. It's got an old school 80s light bar on the roof. This truck just screams 80s. It's cool. It's a cool truck. I'm excited about it. So I've made up my mind. I'll do some thinking on it. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys some pictures, but just a teaser. I know for like all, you know, friggin' 50 people that follow me on YouTube. But this will be a project. It's, you know, I envision it's going to see, you know, we're going to put fluid filters in it. We're going to power wash the heck out of it before it gets too cold here this year. You know, in the long run, I see cab paint. I'll probably get new doors for it just so I can save the house moving company door because it's hand painted on it. I got to save those. That's history. Some new doors, a little body work. We'll probably shoot some paint on the cab, clean it up, you know, some new rubber floor in it or whatever kind of floor, you know, but it's there. It's 100% complete. It's got everything down to every lug nut, mirrors, aluminum fuel tanks. It's 100% there. So we don't have to get a lot, you know. Basically we can do maintenance items and paint and clean up and hopefully just drive the dang thing, and then, you know, in time maybe I'll restore it a little further. But instead of putting 3,000 hours into this thing, I can probably put a couple hundred hours into it and have a cool truck to buzz around in. You know, and long term, maybe I run that to pull the Lodestar up north and whatever car shows I want to go to. But so check out the pictures. It's an exciting new little project I got, and I'll when I go get it running, I'll try to maybe take some video of it for you and embark on the next money pit. You guys take care.